Hey guys, so we're gonna make your covers of your sketchbooks. We're gonna finish what we started yesterday. So yesterday you painted a piece of paper that would look something like this. And today we're gonna turn it into the cover for what will be your finished sketchbook. So here's some different examples of ones that I've already finished. What you're gonna need is your paper that you painted from yesterday, a glue stick, a pair of scissors, a pencil, and then 2 pieces of cardstock, which is like really thick, sturdy paper. So what you wanna do first is take your paper, turn it over, and fold it in half. You want to make sure that you are really matching the corners up really well, because if you don't do this, there's kind of no fixing it. So I like to match one corner and then push down on the paper on one side, and then match the other corner really well, and then mash down and crease the other side, and then finish creasing the whole thing. And you want to crease that really well, so push down. Then you can open it up on the inside, the non-colored side. And to help me when I'm lining up my cardstock, which is the thicker white paper that you're going to use, I like just putting in a pencil line. You have the fold there, but putting in a pencil line just makes it easier to line up your papers straighter and directly across from each other. So doing something like that is always nice to make the job easier. So what you're gonna do now is glue down your first piece of cardstock. What I like to do is just use my glue stick, and I take it almost all the way to the edge, but not quite to the edge. And I'm gonna go all the way around this one side. I'm playing Harry Potter. I don't know if you guys can hear that in the background. Kind of forgot to turn it off. Oh well, you'll have a little bit of a soundtrack while we listen to the video. Okay, so I'm gluing. You don't have to cover the entire part in glue, but I like putting a little bit in the middle just so it's nice and stuck down. Okay, so then I want to take my first piece of cardstock and line it up so that there is a good amount of space around all of the edges. I have kind of a margin, and I want to put it so that it's next to the line but not quite on the line, like that. And then I'm just gonna push down really well. I'm sure you guys know this, but when you're using a glue stick and not a bottle of glue, you really have to put a lot of pressure on whatever it is that you're gluing to make sure that it sticks really well. We don't want to use a bottle of glue for this because it would be too much, but you do want to put good pressure on there to make sure that it's nice and stuck. Okay, so I'm going to do the other side exactly the same way. Okay, so now that I have all the glue on there, I want to be really careful to line up these 2 pieces of cardstock exactly across from each other. I don't want them to be like this, you know, where one is kind of further down than the other. I need to make sure that they're lined up really nice and straight across so that our covers will be even and not wonky. So that looks pretty good to me. So now I'm gonna apply some good pressure to make sure that it's nice and stuck. And then when I close it, I want to even press from the other side because sometimes your paper can get a little bit wrinkly. Okay. So the next part is kind of tricky, but I'm sure you guys can all handle it. You're all smart young ladies and gentlemen. So the way we want to do this so that our corners overlap and don't show any of the corner of the edge of the cardstock here. This is called a mitered corner. So you can see how nice that looks. They're overlapped but not hanging off the edge of our cardstock. So the way that you do that is you're going to cut out kind of a little diamond. So you want to mark your edges. You don't want it to be a straight line going directly off of the line of the cardstock. You want it to kind of tilt a little bit away from where that straight line would be. So if you can see, you don't want it to be a line like this that is straight. You want it to be more of a diagonal line where it's tilted away a little bit, but it needs to come exactly from the corner of the cardstock. You don't want to cut too far away. Like you don't want to put your line right there because that would leave part of the cardstock bare and you want to cover it completely. So then you'll do that to all four corners. So it ends up making kind of a little diamond shape. You can see that. So that's what you're going for. So once you have that, you're going to cut that little diamond shape out, and you want to cut exactly to the corner. You don't want to cut into the corner. You want to cut just to the corner. And you want to do that on all four corners of your cover. So you can see it, how it comes just to the corner. Okay, so now what I like to do is go around and fold the paper against the cardstock. So I want to push down on the white part and kind of push up on the part that is going to be hanging over or folded over, so that after I put the glue on, it's a little bit easier. And I'm going to do that on all four sides. Okay, so that looks pretty good, and now I can start the gluing process.